Hello everyone, Bold Plays here, and welcome to CraftPort. Now, what you're seeing on screen is both a fun little UI thing, but also something that is not actually a part of the server. So you can ignore the backpack, but what you can't ignore is everything you see on the right and all of this. I should note, CraftPort does not have this as the default texture pack or default shaders. The menu on the side does tell you a good bit of what you need to know. CraftPort is a Minecraft survival PvP RPG server. What does that mean? You would not believe me. You might notice on the side here I have a world map and a your profile in my hotbar here. If I hit world map, you can see claims here. You have land claims. There's also an outworld, the nether, and of course the end. The important part of all this is your profile. You have a level, rank, playstyle, balances, and yes, I am a millionaire down there. You are correct about that. We also have player levels, skills, traits, recipes, stats, and others, including achievements and plenty more. All of this is done through a dynamic upgrade system. Everything you see, and I mean everything you see, can and is upgradable. Of course, it wasn't always like that, and in fact, it was only like this recently. So before I get too deep into things, let's start back at the beginning so I can properly explain how I got a very slight advantage on this server and how I created a vault in Minecraft. But first, we have to start over at the beginning. I did not originally know about CraftPort until I was invited by one of my cousins and his best friend. They learned about the server because a friend of a friend was actually streaming on it. From there, they basically decided, hey, we have this server. We found it before it does a first wipe and an official first season, so why don't we invite a few people on to have a little fun now and see if there's anything we can properly do about this. Well, I had an idea. What would happen if there was a way to keep items from the old version of the server post-wipe? So then, of course, I, CommentFire, and Rogue99 decided to get on and see what we could do about it. During our initial investigation and probing on the Discord server, we learned that a wipe was planned, but builds were going to be saved. Not just any builds, claimed builds. So while Comet and Rogue started their process of claiming all of their builds, I decided to spend about 3 straight days or so gathering nothing but resources to build a vault. Or rather, the extremely overpreparedness.
At the very end of the valley, so once the city's like fleshed out, we could even make this.
I love that. Of course, I had to make it behind the waterfall because, of course, this is my little corner up here. Down here, though, this is the vault, and it has 2 levels. The top level is block resources, of which you can see that there is hundreds of every single possible block, including an entire thing of diamond, coal, and wheat back here, and this entire section is copper. So we're not going to be running out anytime soon. And if you want to look down, or just come down here, I've been abusing the /random TPA command for the last 20 hours. I collected all of this from one woodland mansion, and then this is my personal collection of items. I slaughtered so many cows, you have no idea.
You need obsidian. Do you want that anywhere?
I don't have a stack for obsidian, but if you want to make one, we can. Otherwise, that shouldn't take up too much space in bundles. We can probably just stack it right here, right up against this wall. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. Upstairs, though, there is room because we just have the lapis there. Needless to say, I did a little bit of over preparing, but at the end of the day, it did work as intended. However, it was not perfect. As you might notice, I had a wall of enchanted items. Most of those didn't come through. I had a wall of equipment and other things. A few of those followed through as well. Almost all of the blocks did, with the exception of the lapis, because, well, for some reason they stacked. So yeah, if we need more space for other stuff, we can stick it there as well. We got plenty of room total. I'm so glad I made this place as big as I did. This may or may not become just us speedrunning being like landlords in this game. You would not believe how correct I was. Which those we're probably going to be putting directly into the item frames. The goal for the bundles is to fit entire stacks of miscellaneous items. So if we want like a stack of food, a stack of arrows, stuff like that. For example, I did test. I do have a bundle on my wall, which is an entire stack of arrows. So that is possible. I don't know if a crossbow or bow will pull out of a bundle to use arrows, but if it does, that's even better. Correction, no, it doesn't. And those also don't carry over. Yeah, see this is bonding. Just me and the boys preparing for the apocalypse.
Preparing for the apocalypse.
Preparing for the end of the world, like men. Not taking it sitting down, we're up there and we're fighting. At this point, it looked like we had a handle on things. We had most of the vaults completed, we had our claims set up, or so we thought. So the goal at this point was just to keep collecting, verifying information, gathering more things we wanted to keep safe, and, of course, double check on the server to make sure that things were actually going to carry over.
Look, James, this is claimed, right?
Bottom of my vault should be.
I think it's in Jules. It's
vertical all the way.
Oh,
If
then
you
yes, it's
claim
in my
it should
claim.
be
Then yeah, it's in my claim.
horizontal.
As long as you're directly underneath the perimeter of my current vault, you should be perfectly fine. As long as James didn't go too far in one direction, but I don't think he did. That's kind of what the glass floor was for in my case.
Yeah, I see. It's all cobblestone above me, so it's very easy.
Oh, perfect. Yep. That. Oh, yeah. You're right. I did do a cobblestone floor. Huh. I planned ahead without even realizing it. Wow. So this is what Mr. House felt. That was a horrible joke, and I apologize. At any rate, I feel like now is a good time to remind you that this is a PvP server, so there will be people dying and fighting each other both before the wipe and after. If you layer, someone died here. I just walked up to someone's corpse that enchanted. There's a claim book enchanted. I'm taking this.
This is PvP. They'll never do.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they had mending leather pants, how to claim, one of the books, and then here, let me get rid of some of the stuff. They had moss, 14 carrots. I'll take that. Suspicious stew. I'll take that. See, now would be a great time to have a bundle. Oh wait, I can make them. Yay! Stick you in there. Stick you in there. Mutton. Ooh, raw mutton. I got raw beef as well.
That's hilarious.
Wow. Now this may have seemed like we had a lot of time to prepare, but it was 3 days since I joined the server, and then wipe day happened. So after I got everything ready, it was immediately wipe day. There we go. Yeah. So now I can see, but I have no armor.
Now wait.
All packed up.
Okay, sleep real quick.
Yes.
I got you, man.
No one else is on the server.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just us and
I
then
don't
one
have
other
any.
guy.
I got you. I got a stick. I got a stick.
All right. Looking pretty good. We got everything packed up. We got our walls full of stuff. We got all of our materials.
Just
we
what I
got
have
the
in my hands.
bottom
I'm just gonna
vault.
put this down.
Just in case. Looking pretty good.
Put the
Honestly,
gravel,
like-
put the gravel down.
We shall report back day
Honestly,
of,
that's super
see
handy for
what happens.
Roast.
The worst. Rejoining Wipe Day, I immediately made several mistakes. The first was I rejoined the old server, not realizing that the IP had actually changed. The second was I hadn't realized that the old server had essentially been wiped back to world settings, so as soon as I got back to the vaults, there was nothing there. No joke, I spent so long just walking across this new server that I have like 30 or so minutes of just me walking. And since it was basically an entirely different world folder on the new server, when I got to the coordinates, it was literally just open ocean. Needless to say, without the proper context, me and Rogue were very frustrated with the apparent falsehood we heard of claims being saved and of the coordinates being the same, because they told us if we saved the claims, they'd keep them. It's still just open ocean, there's still nothing here. Well, I don't really have a reason to be on the server right now because there's none of that work was saved. The landmass is in a completely different place and we'll have no way to ever find it again. Even if our builds are still out here, they're open for anyone else to take. It kind of seems completely pointless. We, however, were wrong. Not only did we misinterpret the actual claim system, but the way things were going to be done was you had a claim on the previous server. They weren't copy-pasting entire builds because it was a different map. It was a different world. So the way it was actually going to work was we just had to find a place we wanted to settle down, and then we'd set up shop there, request our builds be pasted at the coordinates, and then they would get put where we wanted them. So after getting things all properly sorted out, me and Rogue set out to actually scout for a good location.
Jumping on you if you're still here. Okay, it works. Yay. Slash RTP.
Yep, that's the random one, yeah. Pop somewhere random and I'll join you.
Teleport in 3, 1, boom.
Beam me up, Scotty, and it is safe to teleport to me. Oh, there's an Enderman here. I'm gonna kill him. Never mind. Hold on a second. Give me your pearl, big, tall, black man. Oh, that sounds awful. Never mind. That sounds awful. I stand corrected. Yes, I am running. Good idea.
So we can forward to the actual look.
Woo, okay. There are some zombies and mobs around here, but yeah. Turn around.
No.
Oops, sorry. Ow, don't hit.
Give it up.
Oh, goodness.
Kill it.
You're the one with better armor. I think this might be a good location. Let's not get murdered by this Enderman up here. Oh, we do have there's a crevice over here. You see that? Yeah, which means this lava farm will be fairly easy to set up here. Now, see, this is a nice location. It's bigger than the other one, which leaves us room for expansion, but it still has, like, I could have the vaults, like, at the bottom of the valley, just, like, sunk into the side.
After over here, yeah, let's see. Oh, this is perfect, Joel.
Oh, what? Coming. Oh, you're right. Yep, you're right.
Let's look.
And yes, we did eventually find one.
After we found the location.
This is perfect. Right at the edge here, so it like overlooks. And then down here, it kind of splits in half. So there's like a little dip right there. And then this bit right here, there's a little bit of lava. That would look real nice. It would be different from our previous vision, but we could definitely use what we built before to like add bridges and like a castle area. With this, on the other side, it's got this little bluff, and then there's like another miniature mountain range that kind of mirrors the big one, but it's shorter, but it does go along the same side. It goes
Okay,
along in the
good,
same
good,
direction. It's like another mini one, yeah. After verifying that the area we were scouting looked good enough, we decided to bring in Comet Fire to give his official look-see for the location and make sure we didn't lose track. So yeah, this is saved, and I'll be able to get back to this later if we need to.
If we find a place that's better with like it was with the other old place, then great.
While we waited for him to get online, we did our best to actually explore the server, its system, its settings, and all the different new things that were added to make sure that we could get it all to work. And of course, first try, not a lot of things worked, but considering the server has exactly one developer who was doing all of this in the span of like a week, all the props to you, man, because all the work you were doing was like that of an entire team. You deserve all the respect in the world for that. You did an amazing job. Anyway, after that, we decided it was best to save the location and immediately mine for as many resources as we could get our hands on, and in the process, we leveled up and discovered some of the reward systems. Per level in things such as mining, crafting, fishing, and such, depending on the level you unlocked, you would get specific rewards. And at some point I did realize that by leveling up mining, you can earn entire stacks of diamonds. So that was a fun experience. As mentioned, most of this system was not fully functional week 1, but a lot of this early recording, you can still see some of it on the top of the screen. There are, however, other systems I will be getting more in detail with because they're a part of how we managed to get our leg up. In addition to the normal leveling system for the mining, crafting, fishing, what have you, there was also a job system in the server. The job system essentially allowed you to get a little boost on top of things. For example, if you had the miner job, you would get bonuses in experience and levels for specifically mining this block or that block or hard to find minerals, and also for smelting them. Similarly, if you picked the engineer, you would get extra experience for crafting and placing rare or difficult to make blocks. This system is very useful, as it allows you to level up in achievements, skill trees, and your actual skills, unlocking traits and recipes like I mentioned before. These can have adverse or otherwise effects on your stat trees, allowing you to upgrade different things. For example, for farming, you have different level progressions, and in here, you can unlock different stats and effects. And that applies to all of them. Not only can you unlock multiple jobs as a player, but by upgrading levels, you also can earn in-game cash and coins. That is the system mentioned in balance on the side. These jobs can also have stacking effects both with the upgrade system, but also the leveled up skills. This system rewards players who actually play the game by crafting items, smelting ores, creating super smelters, going on mining streaks, because the higher your level, the more experience you earn per item you do. My brain! Me when I finally figured out how to get this to stack. Oh, here.
The 2-week Minecraft phase has started, and we're going big or going home.
We're going big, we're going home, and I'm making videos on it. I'm going full content creator. There's no hope for me now. I've gone to the dark side. There's no saving me. Now, it was about day 3 of the server when I decided, you know what? Let's make an official announcement in my old gaming group Discord server, Nimrod United. May or may not have heard of it. I honestly don't know about this, but we decided, why not get the crew back together? So we did. And if I do a little bit of this, you can see that we managed to get 7 members of our original Nimrod group all together. This little guy, Super Tito, is actually someone we inducted from the server. But we got almost every single previous member back together. And with that, Nimrod United was reborn. And in the process, we're actually one of the top guilds at the moment. We may not be the richest because I have to input some of my funds, but we have almost the most members. We immediately split up into 3 teams: the builders, the resource gatherers, and the explorers. The explorers, their job was to actually go to the hub world where everyone spawns and explore as much of it as possible. By doing so, we can find all of the different jobs and NPCs that have useful equipment. The gatherers, of course, their job was to gather as many necessary blocks, resources, everything that we could need to actually create the building. And of course the builders, you know their job. While filling in the other members and waiting for our builds to get pasted, we decided to properly explore the hub world and find everything that we needed. In the process of doing so, of course, we did find the bank, a few other NPCs, and some very useful jobs. The 2 that we found most useful, of course, were the miner and the engineer. The miner's perks are very, very specific. By breaking, crafting, smelting ores, And of course, the rarer the better, you can actually earn experience and money for that. The best part, of course, is you earn money by both breaking the ores and by smelting them. So creating an auto smelter or super smelter was essentially a form of passive income. This would actually be the perfect time for me to update you and say that yes, there is an AFK pool system, there are crates you can unlock through online voting, and there are player ranks. However, I'm going to be blatantly obvious here and say I am not sponsored to say any of this. I have not been given anything for free other than the streamer / content creator role, and that doesn't give me access to any of the other ranks. It actually makes it impossible for me to unlock those and gain an unfair advantage. I believe, personally, that you can unlock everything in this game on this server that there is to do without having to spend a single cent, and I am proud to say that no one in our team, Nimrod United, ever has or has ever needed to. And if you believe that I'm bullshitting, go ahead and look at the menu in the middle corner, right there. That level counter right there, with the rank and the money clearly displayed, is going to be changing throughout this entire video, and there will be no sudden jumps. I have had personal interactions with the owner, moderators, and helpers, but that's because I'm a content creator, I'm a streamer. My job is to show them that I'm actually trying my best to make something interesting on the server, do my best to keep people informed about it, and that I'm not lying or making things weird or breaking rules. The main way to do that for me is to show them what I'm doing, where we're setting things up, and what the plan is so they know what to expect. If I completely refuse to communicate with the owners of the server that I am trying to create something on, that is entirely on me if anything breaks down. Which is also why I'm making this official disclaimer. Yes, we are putting things in the vault. Yes, we are using it as storage. No, we're not hoarding it entirely. We will be giving it back to people. And yes, I did technically plunder the vault from the previous server version once for a single netherite block, but I will be restocking it. That is the plan. And I say that because I was actually given said netherite block by a server helper. But that didn't happen yet. Spoilers. This is it. This is the vault. He's here. This is him. The vault is here.
Wait, it's all still here.
The vault is here. It's all here. Everything is still here. It's okay. It won't break anything. It won't break anything. You're fine. But look, everything is still here. Notice, all of the item frames that were empty are gone. But we're good. Look at this. This is all still here. All this is still here. And yours. Yours are all still here as well.
Wait, here's the test, here's the test. Because they could still have emptied these. Give me that. Oh, it's empty.
It's empty. Oh, that's a shame.
Let's go. Here, I'm gonna take a couple bundles.
Yes. You know what this means? Since I have a pickaxe that is silk touch, which means I can take every single one of those bookshelves and I can turn this, I can make like a dedicated like enchanting thing, which was the plan actually.
Let's go.
Yeah, my plan actually
Nice.
was to turn this room into like an enchanting thingy, but
The spawner's still here.
spawners are broken. Spawners don't
they
work
still-
in this. Yeah, they haven't turned them on yet because they're still working out entities and culling and all that. But yeah, we got all these enchanting books, which we later figured out wasn't the case. Every single enchantment and enchanted book on the items and everything else was reset, but that is because this server has custom enchants. So that resets some of the progress on things, but honestly at that point, zero loss. I got all that in there. So I was going through and I did a good bit of this. I multiplied and you can keep all that. I did put we have 10 lodestones in there and a bunch of grindstones. So we should be good.
Nice.
I will grab that, half of it, that I keep in there, grab that. I have a bunch of cauldrons, so I can continue to expand things. Also, I have 20 blocks of diamond and 20 blocks of lapis. So yeah, all this stuff, like this was my corner, and it's all still here. But yeah, that is good. I mean, it makes sense that a lot of things reset. Not only were we transitioning between Minecraft versions, but also server architecture. They probably looked at what it was, but I doubt that they intentionally broke things. They did leave most of it here, they just didn't let any of the enchantments go through. It makes sense because they have their own custom enchantment systems.
That could be experience.
Now that we had the actual vault in place, even if plenty of items were missing, it still felt like it was time to do a little extra. We didn't just want to end it off there because, oh, we got the vault, we sent it over. No, we decided, let's actually play into the guild thing a bit more.
We might be doing the sort of dojo Japanese theme because we have ninja skins, you know, and everything.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing it, and we started clearing some of the trees up there.
Did you see, you said you saw my smelting thing. Did you see my farm?
Yes, very
Yes.
good, very good.
Said smelter I mentioned and farm I mentioned are a little something that I like to do when I'm starting a new server or a new world where I create farmable resources. Said smelter is an above ground formation that I have built right here, along with some of my dogs. No, not the originals from the server, but new ones. This has a dual input system and completely underground lava. This actually is something I created myself with an entire row of super smelters all linked together with the floor made entirely out of furnaces and a infinite lava supply all the way down. The way this works essentially is that when you feed in fuel, it goes into the back fuel line there, feeding every single furnace with what you need, and then the line in front feeds everything completely full of the resource or the ore that you're smelting. And then of course, all the way down here at the very end is where the final result comes. The second item mentioned, or rather not mentioned, is my cobblestone generator right here in the middle. And if you use the appropriate pickaxe, i.e. Silk Touch, it can also just be a general stone generator. And yes, I've abused the ever-loving crap out of it. The actually second/third item mentioned is my farm, which is all the way over here on the side. Yes, it's a carrot farm. Legends never die. But it's a carrot farm because we can turn all of these into golden carrots, ideal for PvP. And despite this exception, every single one of these pools is an Enderpearl Stasis chunk loader, so that these are always cooking. And of course, down here where it doesn't actually need sunlight, but I put it there because vibes, is the wart farm. I did remove some of our excess stuff that we weren't using, like the item frames. I will be reusing them. But yeah, all your stuff there is still there, but just all of those, all
all the
those.
enchantments are gone, and the items, the pouches are.
Yeah, the bundles are empty,
So
unfortunately.
However,
However, you will
win here
notice
was just
that the
actual
guild shop has 2 bundles full of bundles, so I didn't let any go to waste.
And then the downstairs level is still there too.
Yes, and all of the copper is still here. The insane amount of copper. It makes sense that that broke because this server has a whole new enchanting system. Good boys.
Yeah, Joel, you got somebody from the dev team actually just gave it to you, right?
Give me what?
The
Oh,
nether stuff.
yeah, I
Right?
tried to buy it from them. And they just said, no, I have too much here, and gave it to me and said, as long as I have, well, I technically have 3 blocks of the stuff, but they said you can use 1 for yourself and put 2 of them in your vault, and yeah, that was the condition for your use, essentially. So, yeah.
Nice.
So yes, they do know about the vault, and they know about the contents, and they said, yeah, sure, you can do it as long as you don't, entirely rely on the vault, which is why I've been doing a lot of mining, because the goal is not to purely be rich because we have the vault. The goal is to have the vault, have it look nice, and stocked somewhat without abusing it too much, because then, that's just not fair for everyone else.
Hello.
Hola, señorita, ¿cómo estás? Muy bien. Sí, bueno.
Yay, I'm glad you're good.
Y muy grandios, bueno.
Okay.
I know I am butchering Spanish right now, but bear with me.
Well, I understood some of that.
It didn't
See,
make a sentence, but it was
I'm
random
speaking.
words.
I'm speaking. Well, no, I was saying a sentence, but I was saying I was speaking Spanish with a Jolie's accent. So
Joel,
What? Oh my goodness.
gotta go to Joelandia to be able to.
Well, saying saying autistic accent doesn't exactly roll off the tongue. So. And so after making sure that the vault was secured, everything was properly claimed, and that we just had a little bit extra fun with the others in group chat, we decided it was time to properly grind the server. The way we did that, of course, was teleporting everywhere we could, mining as many resources as we could, and showing up basically daily for the vote crates and the other things, which, honestly, were a nice little boost. I was able to, unfortunately, abuse the banking system, because depending on how big of the loan you took, you got a higher interest rate to the point that I became a millionaire in about 3 weeks. But that's a different story. Now, it's time for me to address the elephant in the room. A lot of the timeline for this server took place back in February, and you might notice that structure in the back isn't done. There's still a lot of boxes, and where is everyone? Well, that is where I have to be real with you. The Minecraft 2-week phase kicks in hard, and unfortunately there were a few periods while I was online when it was just me, when it was just me and an owner, me and a helper, me and an admin, sometimes me and another creator and their ult. It was not going well for a bit there. But I do have to say, through thick and thin, I've stuck here, and I'm glad I did, because right now, we have plenty of people. And just before I started recording all of this, we were at 12 people online and almost 20 before that. I believe that this server has so much potential and I don't want to see it wasted. We are still working on this. I've gotten statements from my other Nimrod people. We are still working on this. I haven't even gotten to that yet. There are plenty of structures here that we haven't started or haven't finished. That is a very clear eyesore and statement that something is happening. But I don't want to spoil it yet, because I want to invite you here. I know that seems kind of obvious, like, oh yeah, there's a server, he's trying to get people to play on the Minecraft server. It's not mine though. And I want to say this honestly. I believe that the system on this server, the RPG elements, the levels, the PvP, all of it, I feel like this has a lot of potential. The team working on this is about 5 or so people, probably less, maybe even more. I wouldn't know the exact number, but the point is, I am not done with this. I know we aren't done, Nimrod, especially considering that we still have a plan to actually create a story here. And I know for a fact that they aren't done with the server either. There are other game modes that are still being made. This is the survival. There's also the prison game mode. There's also a farming mode. There's several. There's also a world hub. There's so much more here than just this. And this is already an experience. Exploring the hub world and seeing all of the options and all the different jobs, people, all the different things you can do here. And not just that, but also the dungeons and the raids, which I know you've seen me do at least once. It's all interconnected, and there's so much more here that I haven't even completely found. I've been on the server for almost 2 months now, and I still haven't unlocked everything. That just goes to show exactly how much there is here. And the best part is, there's so much I don't think I'll ever find all of it. And considering the levels and how much can be unlocked and all the different things that can be done, I don't think that you can actively just be done with the server until you've tried it all. And yeah, we've had moments where there haven't been as many people online, but they've all come back. And this is one of those servers where you don't have to spend any money, you don't have to buy expensive ranks, you don't have to put in anything more than your time, your effort, and your interest. And I'll be honest, I've only shown you half. There's a whole other island over there. There's a whole other half and third and quarter to the spawn island. You've only seen the basic part. That's not even accounting for the fact that we're about to get a nether expansion. The nether is only 10k by 10k right now. Chunks. That's about to double. And not to mention the fact that we have custom enchantments here. I know I haven't shown too many of them, but that's because that's for the next video. And also, there will be more added to the hub world, including a selling point and purchase and trade of these custom enchantments. I still have about 9 hours worth of footage on this server that I left out of this video. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to make several parts. I want to make minimum a trilogy of this because there's so much on the server. I feel like I would be doing it a massive disservice if I put it all into one video, and I refuse to do that. There's so much here that I don't feel like I can properly give it a good, thorough, proper review, justice or otherwise, in just one video. That would be a problem, and this is hilarious that I just immediately walked over here and found that. Point is that there is a lot, and I will not be doing it all in one video, but I will be keeping you all updated. And also, just to let you know, yes, this will be taking place alongside my usual Minecraft stuff, and don't worry, the uploads won't be stopping. They'll just be taking a little bit longer than usual, but that's not exactly out of the ordinary. However, I will be finishing part 1 here, but before I go, I do have to say, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a giveaway. This is not sponsored by the server or by anyone on it. This is a decision that I reached out to them for permission to do. I have 6 experience booster vouchers. These essentially give you a little bit of a boost when you do the leveling up process on the server for a limited time. There's 6 of them, they don't stack. The first 6 of you to join this server after leaving a comment under my video with your username to join this server, find me and let me know that you came from my video, you will get one of these. The first 6, there are no more, and once they're gone, they're gone. So go ahead and leave a comment and head over to the server. There will be both a link to their Discord and to their actual server IP in the description. It is both compatible with Java and Bedrock. Both of those will be there. If you can't get to the Bedrock version correctly, please do reach out onto the Discord server and the mods will help you out. Until next time, stay crafty.